ladies and gentlemen, bit of Tiswell's action for you. Dear lead us in, because Tiswell's is freaking awesome. I don't know. I got two people in the green room just waiting, anticipating. Who knows or dares to dream what could happen? What could happen? But I don't know if I ever explained to them what Tiswell's was. we need. Yeah. That's like needs to be delved into. But for me, it's Saturday night, baby. Saturday night, ready boogie. This is as much as I boogie. Okay, I'm an old man. It's 9 o'clock. I'm really happy. I was able to wind the stream back to 9 o'clock. So I was doing it at 9:30 for me. Because the Sabbath goes out later, but it's going out earlier and earlier now. And that 25 minutes, boy, it makes a freaking difference. It was like half out, yeah. Does really, really, really nice. So yeah, look, for me, I've been offline for 25 hours. I have had a look at the geeky headlines. And, oh boy, there's shit going down, right? There's shit going down. Yeah, it's quite surprising shit from what I've seen. We'll be looking at the headlines together. But for me, it's a scary time. You know, anything could have gone down. And so, you know, I need people. I need men. I need hardy men, brave men who could face down, orcs and, robotic hordes with me, and survive the apocalypse. So where do you find such men? You find them in comics, baby. You find them in comics. That's the only place you find men with balls enough to make comics like that. And we have such men tonight. I will bring them on shortly. But first, let me reflect. For me, it was the Sabbath. Let me tell you about Sabbath. My family dynamic has completely freaking changed. Okay. We basically were empty nesters. Oh God, it was good, right? Oh man, yeah. And then our kids would come home on Friday for the Sabbath, right? And then they'll go again on Sunday. And I'm telling you, as a phase of life, this is the blowjob phase. Okay, that was so good, right? That was so good. All good things come to an end. So what's happened is my youngest kid, Ari, he's moved from high school, which was a live-in high school, but now he's living in a called a yeshiva. It's like a rabbinical academy. But it's on the beach, you know, and it's a bit of a stoner rabbinical academy, so good for him, mate. Yeah, he's a bit space like kid. Lovely kid. Oh my God, so sweet. Anyway, but the other three, so he's like 18, right? So he's big already, right? So the other ones are like, there's my daughter Yael. She just finished the army. She's what, 20, I don't know, 21, I think, around there. She's big. She's very grown up, right? And it's not like she has a shy personality. She's basically me. That's the weird thing. She's basically me when I was that age as a girl, right? And I was much louder then. I know it's incredible, but I was much more louder and more gregarious when I was just much like her, right? So that's one very big personality in the house. But wait, there's more. My son also is just getting out the army. They give him like the last two or 3 weeks off. So he's had a glittering army career. He's been what's called a Kassin, an officer, and they could have stayed. They offered him a ton of money. I mean, like they offered him like this shit ton of money to stay, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm done." I think he wants to start school, move on with his life. So he's like a big, again, he's been a responsible, independent adult, right? He's a big lad. He's like 24. Maybe more. I don't know. So he's living in my bloody house now as well, right? So I got 2 freaking hours. And then I have my oldest daughter living here who, let me think. If I was going to explain her psychological condition, I would say batshit crazy, right? She is nuts. Oh my God. It's that, there's so much drama over so many. Look, she's wonderful. Don't be wrong. But okay. She's gone on this OCD bend for the last few days, cleaning the house, right? And it's fantastic. But I just don't want her to start taking a medication or whatever happened to make this happen. But she's batshit crazy. And an adult, she's like 24, 25. Getting any of these asses out the door to go and date anyone. Oh my God, really? God, you would have thought sex is like kryptonite to this generation. For God's sake, because being super religious, like, and this is weird even for religious people. There's a thing called Shomnei Nagir, where you don't touch each other. You can touch one another in a non-sexual manner. Or they do, some do, but you basically you get married a virgin. You get married a virgin and never really having kissed anyone. Which is kind of mind blowing when you think about it, because I think that'll be a good way to be, right? There'll be a real intimacy you would have with your wife. So yeah, anyway, but none of the freaking dating, anyway. So we're trying to get, and so anyway, it's my house. My house went from being an empty nester where everything was serene, quiet, calm, to having 3 very big personalities in my house. A lot, right? A lot. And I was like, whoa. It's kind of heavy, but anyway, listen, I do like them all, so there is that. But anyway, so this Sabbath, somebody else was going into the. He's not there yet. Actually, can't. He was nearly going into the empty nester phase, and he had a thing called a kiddush. All right, so what a kiddush is, it's freaking awesome. Right, kiddush is awesome. You do them on Saturdays. You do them on Saturdays after synagogue. So like it depends when. Like 10:30 would be a normal time, 10:30, 11, 12. And you like put out, it depends how good the kids are. First you put out some alcohol, you put out some like whiskey and schnapps, and then you put up the kugel. Have a kugel at your kiddush, baby. A bit of kugel. It's like a square of a dish, made like a potato kugel, for example, is you get a potato, you shred it up, you mix it up with eggs and salt and pepper and onions. And then you put it in a pan and you bake it, and then you cut a little square, and then you eat it. Freaking awesome! And there's all these different things, and then there's a chulent. So anyway, so my friend of mine who I thought was sort of going into this phase, but he's not. He's got a lot of younger kids as well. His son is going into the army this week, so he had the kiddush, right? Because it's like you celebrate, you have the kiddush, right? So he was going into what's it called? This thing called Samchanim, I think. Like infantry, and they have a purple beret. So they made everything purple, right? Everything was purple. They had, and it was, this kiddush was like sumptuous. I'm just like crazy. There was room firstly, it was mostly outside because of basically to get the space and also with Corona, I guess. But there was just room after room of like insane food. There was like a meat table, like cold cuts, and he had chulent. Chulent is a good thing, mate. Chulent is basically, you're not allowed to cook on the Sabbath. So the traditional dish is you get a pot, you put potatoes, meat, barley, onions, and crap in it, and you fill it with water, and then you go to the local bakery, you put it next to the big oven, which makes it cook for 25 hours essentially, and then you go and pick it up, right? And it's like a stew, but it's very, very good. I do. So that was there. They had little cones of like artesian made popcorn made to look purple freaking everywhere, right? You weren't doing acid. There was really that much purple there. So anyway, as I digress. Turns out the kid going in the army. They asked for volunteers for Shirion, which is the tank corps. That's the corps that my son's is just getting out of. So I think, I'll volunteer, and that color's black. So they're like, they have a lot of purple stuff now for no real reason, but it was all delicious. And I was reflecting over the Sabbath, because that's what you do. You're offline, right? You're offline. So I was thinking, you know what I'm going to do? I've never been a fan of TikTok, as you know. No, not TikTok. Just kind of annoys me. But then I thought, well, YouTube's doing this thing called YouTube Shorts, which is the same thing as TikTok. And I figure if I do 1-minute videos, I can put it on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll put it here on YouTube on the Shorts. So I think I'm gonna start trying out those in addition to like my 1 or 2 videos a day. So that'll be my program. Also, I think I'm going to open a Substack account, which I'm really excited about Substack, because I just got tons of free comics. I got a long portfolio of comics. I can put stuff out all the time, right? That's just got to. I'll make it free, obviously, but I mean that's just got to be useful to sell your comics, hasn't it? I would have thought, right? I would have thought. I got like tons of material. Yeah, so that's something that's probably going to happen. Anyway. So, if everybody doesn't know yet, this is my puppy Daisy. She's now got a bit bigger. All right, she's much bigger now. But her friend Shoko always comes round on the Sabbath as well, and we can't tell if they're playing or they're trying to hump each other, right? Because he's a boy, she's a girl. But he's been fixed, and she hasn't. I don't know. We still don't know. We still don't know. It's one of the things we do to pass the time on the Sabbath. Is that a hump or is that a rape? We don't know. We don't know. Whatever your doggy likes to do, that's cool with me, baby. It's cool with me. Anyway, as I said, Sabbath is now over. I've come out. And we're in a new world, baby. We're in a new world. It's an all new world. The analogy I like to give is. Doctor Who arriving as TARDIS, not knowing wherever he is. Where have you brought me to this time? I go, how about this? Instead, they randomly dial the Stargate. And that's reality for me, baby. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going down, although I did glance at Bounding in Comics, and there it's going down. I wonder if these guys know about it. Anyway, so I have as I said, hardy, strong men within the chat to withstand the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune that may or may not have been thrown in the face of the world. The world in a very strange place. I think it's fair to say the world's in a bit of a strange place. I don't really remember ever being in a place like this, but there you go. Fortunately. Even if the apocalypse does come, you still have the opportunity to get some fantastic, physical media. Actual physical media, buy yourself a few comics because again, when civilization is broken down, right, you don't know what you're going to be able to buy with a good comic, right? You might be able to get a truckload of virgins, or I don't know, whatever you want. All I can say is if you have these people's comics, that might be good currency in the apocalypse. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so the first person we are saying hello to is a bit of a rabbi virgin, right? Has never pressed his body up against mine on my channel, and neither has anybody else, quite frankly. But that being said, I feel we need to introduce our first guest with the expertly named. I say I love the name of his book, the incredible, the man, the sad, the mad, the dangerous snow, Jim Tanner with Dig Two Graves, baby, Dig Two Graves. Freaking love the title.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's always the best part of coming up with stuff for the book is coming up with the damn title for stuff.
Oh no, that was perfect. Okay, that sells it to me 100% as a pulp noir. I haven't read it, so I can't say classic, but it feels like it's going to be one. The artwork's fantastic. I love the artwork on it. Did you write it or draw it or both?
I wish I drew it. It would save me so much time and money.
Listen, you found a great artist.
I did, yeah. Von Randall, he's amazing. So, no, I'm the writer-creator of the series.
Okay, fine. So is it a series or a graphic novel?
So it's a series. It's going to run 12 issues when it's all said and done. Right now we're doing a graphic novel, the first few issues, just to allow people to kind of catch up. So each issue runs like 40 plus pages. So, you combine just a couple of them, you're already well over 80 at this point. So
right.
Since I'm doing indie comics, I try to give more bang for the buck. So I'll make them a little bit.
Yeah, listen, dude, we are so in the same place. I'm trying to get my book out to fulfillment, right? And I sent I had my print files ready. And I sent them off to my printer. This printer is slightly different. Instead of having 178 millimeters width, they wanted 176 millimeters width. Now I could have just trimmed the PDF and nobody would really notice, but it would have shrunk things down, and I would have been irritated with it forever. So I spent, I don't know, about 15 hours going through each page, methodically changing. I was like, oh God. But there you go. I just finished that on Friday. That was a nightmare.
Fun task for that.
Anyway, so we will come back and talk about it and look at your book shortly. We also again, the Jewish word is zocher. Okay, we merit in heaven that the good Lord has blessed us with such a man that brings forth something that we need more of in the world. And what do we need more of? Wonderfully drawn boobies. I think that's fair to say. Wonderfully drawn boobies. Wonderfully drawn boobies by, I would say, a wonderful boob himself. It is, of course, Clint Hilinski. I can never say your last name. How are you?
Close enough. I can't say it. Zerger, whatever you say.
Tzvi.
No. Tzvi, I can say. What was the Zerger that?
Zocha. Okay, yeah, that's a Jewy word. All Jewy words are like, okay.
I'm gonna learn all my Jewish words from this show.
Oh, listen. Listen, man. I can tell you great ones. Okay, gay pfeifen. Gay pfeifen is Yiddish for fuck off.
Oh, gay Pfeiffer? There was a kid in my school called Pfeiffer. We tell him to fuck off.
It's the same from the same word. It means go whistle.
Go whistle?
That means women. Okay, so it's Pfeifel means whistle. Gay pfeifen. Hey, Lionel. Anyway, how are you, sir? Your book, how much longer does it have?
We close tonight, I think, like 2 a.m. Central time. We're probably about 12 hours, 15 hours away, 14 hours away.
Man,
so, yeah,
I'm closing mine when I have my print date from my fulfillment, right?
Sure.
I'm just dragging. It's just dragging out getting that ready.
No, and getting the book to the printer. Getting everything set up with the printer the way you want it, it's always kind of a pain in the ass. There's always some, like, whichever printer you're using, there's always something like, oh, you got to do this. The last 2 books, even with Mixum prints a ton of books for Comicsgate creators, and a double-page spreads turned into a nightmare. Like, the rest of the book was fine, and then double-page spreads became complicated, and we had to do this and that and the other to kind of jump through some hoops to get it done.
Man, I'm using Mixum, and they gave me the specs for double-page spread. Should I just do everything as individual pages?
That's what I think Mark Polton just ended up doing for us with Sea Dog, because Sea Dog Kill Switch Book 2 is at the printer right now.
And I'm glad you gave me a heads up. I'm glad because, literally, I'm just getting the print file ready now. So goodbye.
Yeah,
I had it done until you told me that.
I had the double page of spreads cropped, and he said he could not get however Mixum has you send them in there. Like, he kept trying to do it as one page. So then I think we just split them up and put them in there as individual pages. So there's always some kind of thing with printers that you don't see coming.
Yeah, exactly. What can you do? I'm thinking of starting a sub. I think I am. I'm going to start as a Substack account.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Everybody's on Substack now.
I've never heard of it before. Now everybody's doing well, that sounds cool. I mean, I'll do a free one.
This is what happened. James Tinian went online and bragged about how much money he was getting from Substack. And when a comic creator brags about how much money they're making on online, guess what happens? All the other comic creators' ears perk up, and money? Yeah. Somebody's handing out money. So yeah, like everybody who's a comic pro.
I'm totally signing up for the Jonathan Hickman one. I like his work. I've always liked his work.
Yeah, every comic pro out there is trying to figure out how to get their little slice of the pie out of Substack.
You know what? If you have an audience, if you have a following, do it, mate. Do it. I mean, I think you will do. I think everybody will do well.
Well, and the little bit I've heard about it, and I don't know anything. I've just been hearing rumors, but it sounds like they had a bunch of writers that were like almost doing newsletters and stuff, and were authors. Yeah. But they weren't getting like the following that they wanted on there. So I think that's where they decided to branch out into comic book
writers. They're moving aggressively into the empty comic space.
Yeah,
right. They are moving aggressively into that vacuum.
Yeah, because I'm assuming they must not be hitting the kind of numbers they want to be hitting, and they
put a ton of money into this. From what I understand, they basically they picked like a handful of creators. And they said, "Okay, we'll give you a bunch of money to be a producer and make a universe."
Yeah,
and
hopefully bring your whole following of Batman and X-Men.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
That's what they want. They want those eyes on their website. And
well, listen, if they bring in like not 30,000 but 7,000, 8,000 a month, all paying like $8 a month or $5 a month, whatever it is.
That's
they're getting
hoping.
There's free money. I mean, not free money. They put up a ton of money for it. Yeah. But I listen. I just think it's a platform that's going to fly. It seems very simple and easy to use for like the creator and the consumer.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, no. It's honestly, I think there's a very big potential in this like rival. Not right. Yeah, be the the other thing people do other than crowdfunding. Yeah, I think this is good.
Yeah, I'm skeptical still. I want to see, because I mean, I want to see the books that they're putting out first, because I don't know. There's something about writing Batman brings a lot of eyes on it, and then you're an indie creator and you're writing you create your own thing.
Yeah, but
when you're a big name, you'll still bring eyes to it, but like it comes down to the project that you're putting out there.
Yeah, so. But you know what? I think that shows you how the mainstream industry is going, right? How bad that, and they know they can get their throat cut at a minute's notice, and no one's going to do anything for them. Yeah, they cross the wrong people.
Big paydays, like people are looking for big paydays and like offshoots from Marvel and DC right now, just with how, I mean, the last few years, everybody's seen what's been happening. It's not a stable job place, even up at the top. When you see Scott Snyder bailing for creator-owned stuff, James Tynion bailing for creator-owned stuff, it's like...
Scott Snyder looks like he's just doing comic writing courses. I'm like, dude. Here's the truth. All you need to know how to write comics is to read a lot of comics.
Yeah.
Once you've read a lot of comics, you don't know how to write the comics, then therefore you haven't read them. Right?
There's always that audience out there to make money off of, though, that's like, oh, if I take this Scott Snyder course, that's going to get my foot in the door in comics. And I'm going to be the next big star. And it's like,
yeah, it's not going to happen.
There's always money to be made off of people thinking that way.
Although, I'll tell you, if he then picks the best people from his courses and starts an imprint with them,
well, that would be
then he'll get people flooding, right?
Oh, yeah. He'll be making more money. It's like, yeah, I'm going to pick the cream of the crop and start my own imprint. Yeah, guess what? Writers are going to be rushing.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, you want a personal connection with it, and he has those tiers where you can have a one-on-one call with him and stuff like that.
Yeah. Always a good idea.
Yeah, I do. Come on. That's a bit tacky.
Yeah, but just like everything else in comics, it's how am I going to make money? How am I making money?
Well, listen, I completely hear that. Let me throw something up for people to look at. So I have to say hello to the chat because I am remiss. What should we
Gandalf Booty Juice in the house. Hail chat.
Right, what's it? I'm going to open up Bounding Into Comics, just like so you can see the headlines as I say hello to everybody, so your mind can be equally blown. Let me go down to over here. Here we go. These ones are a bit. Whoa, okay.
Bounding Into Comics, always good for some good entertainment and some good writing.
Yeah.
Right? All the cutting edge comic news.
Oh, there you go. So that's creepy.
Oh, geez. Horatio Sands. Yikes, that's Jimmy Fallon's buddy there. Jimmy Fallon named as a witness.
They named Jimmy Fallon. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Fallon's
witness and enabler. Yikes.
That's not good. You don't want your name on that story, mate. Jimmy Fallon's toast.
That's how you lose the Tonight Show.
Yeah, no, Jimmy Fallon's toast.
Yeah. Well, they already hate him because he messed up Trump's hair, so they'll finish him off.
For that. I don't know. All sorts of things. You are a smug if you do not wear a mask. Screw your freedom. Okay.
That German blood runs deep.
I'm telling. Look, Arnold. Not to make you feel uncomfortable, but your father actually genuinely used public health as an excuse to throw Jews into ovens. You know, mate. You know, it was actually your father personally, right? I don't know what to tell you. Okay, that's just the facts of the matter.
Yeah, I gotta assume you're perfectly comfortable with Germans saying "screw your freedom."
Screw your freedom.
Like, not a big deal.
No one's scared about hearing that. Yeah, Germany.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
It's like Norm Macdonald does a really good bit. I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, the Netflix special where he says, there's a country called Germany, right? And they had a war. We had World War I, where the whole world was at war. On one side, it was everybody, and on the other side, it was Germany. Germany went to war with the entire world, right? And then 30 years later, once again, so like. Listen, German. I'm sure. Actually, I had a friend of mine's son was just offered a job in Germany. I was like, yeah. Aquaman star Jason Momoa throws his hat into ring for Justice League sequel. Is that the Snyderverse one, or is that the? Okay, whatever.
Hey, Momoa's been around for a long time, man. He's been on a lot of genre shows. Like, who knows what he can do?
He was in, what's his name? Stargate, wasn't he? That's where he started.
Oh, yeah, he was a Stargate guy. Stargate and Baywatch.
I remember him.
Right, Baywatch.
Yeah.
Baywatch. Although, listen, if you're gonna go, if you want to go disturbingly far back, you go to Jessica Alba, not in Dark Angel, but in Flipper.
No, that's way back there.
There you go.
My one Jason Momoa story is I took a leak next to him in a Vegas restroom, and was it Caesars or was it the Luxor? I think.
Yeah, I would be intimidated.
I had been drinking all night, so I really had to take a leak.
Well, a man's got to do it.
I was a big Stargate fan. I said, "Hey, you're on Stargate," and he's like, "Yeah."
Okay, so James Gunn talks about Scorsese's criticism of superhero movies. He gives a crap. Last Airbender, not interested.
I was going to say they're going after James
well, this
Gunn.
is not good as well.
Yeah, he already has a strike on his file from his tweets from years ago.
Right, but this is not good. So anyway, let me I'll leave it on the headlines. While I quickly say hello to everybody in the chat. Heather Sulu, how are you? Thank you for joining us, Peter Rich. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. No, it's afternoon for you, isn't it? You're in England. Clint is here. Clint is there. Clint is everywhere. Genuine Comics. Got to get you back on. You always have new books coming out, right? He's like, this guy is a machine. He's always pumping out new books.
Beautiful books too.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. I agree. Robbie Bonham, how you doing? Howdy, cowpokes. And it just jumped. Man, I was being so good. Let me think. Okay, fine. I'm going back in. Then we got Dan DeHull said, Clint! He's very excited. Dan said, how many copies of Blue Bombshell did the Rabbi pick up? None. Anything I got to pay shipping on. Frick, I can't stand the international shipping, okay? Don't get me started on international shipping, okay?
I agree.
That's why I'm printing in 4 different locations, and I feel guilty if somebody buys it outside of there. Right? I do. Right? I think that's just me for you. But yeah, listen. Just because I cannot pay that shit. I can't pay more for shipping than I do.
It was bad before, but the quarantine, the virus. I mean, international shipping now is like I'm not sure how people are doing it. It's brutal.
Well, we're very excited in Israel. We just got free shipping from Amazon back, and if you get that window of over $65, you get free shipping. Under $75, you don't get charged tax. So a lot of people are making those orders today. So $74.
Everything's priced at $70.
Yes, basically, yes, exactly. Did your son join the army, or is there national service in Israel out of interest? My son, there is national service, and he joined the army to fulfill his national service. So yes to both, I think. If I understand the question, it's conscription, right? Conscription. He's just finished. He signed on for an extra 2 years? I don't know.
I would assume most dudes over there join the army just for all the hot Jewish chicks.
Well, yes, yeah.
Damn.
It is a good place to get laid.
Wow.
I've been reliably informed. Of course, I've never been in the army, but the uniform is designed to make everybody look good. It's incredible. It makes like that uniform is designed by geniuses because everybody looks good in it. So there you go. I hope that answers your question. So Daniel said, "Hail!" And then Jonathan Cox is here. Hello, fellow Time Lords and leaders. PD Richards being very good. Put my campaign in. Go back my book. I think I'm about $100 or something off $9,000. So Darren M, how you doing, sir? Who else we got here? I think it's everybody. I think we're up to date. Fine. Would any of you kind gentlemen care to share your campaign? Clint, have you seen Jim's campain?
I have not, so I'm fine either way. I can go first or second, whichever you guys are comfortable with.
Jim, do you want to share it or send me the link? What's better for you?
Oh, you know what? I'm not even sharing my page with you. I'll do that too. Sorry.
I'm still so new to this. I'm not even.
You know what? Let me go first then, because then I'll give him a little time to. Yep. And you know what? I'll share my page and I'll just run through it because I can zoom in on stuff with my touchscreen.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Chrome tab. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm like better at stumbling through it now a little bit.
There you go. Well, listen. I mean, like. I don't know. I can literally pitch while I'm laying in bed, right? So, like when I'm asleep, somebody give me a jab. I can knock that pitch out anytime.
Oh yeah. Rambling through the pitch is fine. I'm always like struggling to find the button that I'm supposed to hit on the in StreamYard there. So, but I'm getting better.
I just realized why I thought your campaign was had raised more money than I looked at it in pounds.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that always throws me off.
And also shekels. Shekels always makes your campaign look fantastic.
I made at least 30 rubies.
There you go.
So, anyways, here's all the books here. This is our big tier here. This is a featured one. This is the most bang for your buck. You get everything.
Dude, we have you people watching. Tell us about the book.
I'm going to. I'm getting there. So
I'm like, what? Like, you telling me how to buy it up front. I want to said it.
This is what the Blue Bombshell is about. Tips.
Okay. There you go.
It's about these.
Expertly drawn, if I may say so.
No, Blue Bombshell is the most powerful super babe in her universe. She is the strongest, indestructible, but unfortunately she can't find a costume that can contain her indestructible rack.
Well, so
that's kind of the problem.
I have to tell you, I really love how you emulate the classic Marvel look with this cover. It's just so much fun.
Oh yeah, no, I've had a lot of fun with the artwork and a lot of different ideas on there, different characters. We've got a Sister Power here, who is maybe an alternate reality sister of Luke Cage, or not, depending on if anybody comes after me. Then she is definitely not.
There you go. Then it's
Got a cheerleader X over here. She's a cheerleader at a football game when a radioactive UFO crashed and killed everybody and gave her superpowers. We got Titanium over here. She teams up with Astro Girl, so it's Titanium and Astro Girl, or tits and ass.
TNA, there you go.
Yeah, TNA. Yeah, and Liberty over here. I needed a patriotic superhero chick, so I just kind of put her in there. But this is kind of my homage to J. Scott Campbell. There's a bunch of artists I'm fans of. I kind of emulate their styles on some of these variant covers because I obviously can't afford to pay them to do it for me, so I'll just kind of do it myself. Here's the cover B variant cover. It's kind of more along the lines of Adam Hughes, Frank Cho, Terry Dodson. I'm a huge fan of those artists, and kind of an homage to their kind of good girl cheesecake kind of style there. But lots of pretty girls, lots of superhero action, lots of dick and fart jokes. This is like This is the comic book that the 13-year-old guy in you would love. It's like most of us haven't matured past that level anyways, so I'm kind of aiming at that target demographic.
I think you're knocking out the park, if I may say so.
We've got the adult variant cover here. Again, this will not be censored when you get it in print. The book does, trigger warning right here. This book does contain nudity, does contain adult themes, does contain a lot of crass humor and jokes that you'd find funny when you're 13 or 43.
So I would say, if anybody wants to cancel Clint, right? If you want to do that, you must buy multiple copies of this book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Analyze it closely, right?
If you buy the $200 level, then you can attempt to cancel me and go for it.
Yeah, and then you can just burn it all in front of him, and he'll be so sad, right?
I will be. Tears in my eyes. We do have stretch goals now, and we are very close to attaining that $30,000 stretch goal. Every backer is going to get a hologram lenticular trading card. These things are awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, when you move it, it kind of like the girl moves in the thing. So I'm very
I love lenticular cards.
Yep, I'm very stoked to hit that. Hopefully I can get that to every backer there. If we can get up to 40,000, then everybody's going to get an additional comic book. This book is already finished, so it's not going to slow down production at all. This is Sword Maidens. Think if Red Sonja had a twin sister and the two of them fought a bunch of monsters and lost their tops throughout most of the comic book.
I tell you, it's a terrible thing to happen, but if we have to witness it, we will.
Absolutely. There's always that danger. Those loose-fitting tops just kind of get snagged away.
People do complain. It's true.
And, of course, every superhero needs a bunch of supervillains, and if you're going to have supervillains, why not have some bad girls in there? So we've got the Pink Pussycat, Fetish, and Bloodthirsty, some of Blue Bombshell's Rogues Gallery. You gotta have good enemies if you're gonna have a cool superhero.
Absolutely, 100% right there.
Absolutely. Just some interior pages. The super team that Blue Bombshell is a member of. She's a member of the Superiors. A lot of this stuff, I was a huge fan of the old 80s and 90s Justice League, the Bwahaha League. So there's a lot of nods to that old kind of fun, humorous comic book with a lot of hot chicks in it.
Right.
And I love my homages. So I kind of, the Blue Bombshell ends up in a place called the Ravaged Lands. Definitely not the Savage Lands. Totally different than when Rogue was in the Savage Lands. This has nothing to do with that. So everybody's lawyers can calm down.
Get that out of your head completely. Yeah.
But a lot of action, a lot of superhero adventure, a lot of fun, a lot of nudity, a lot of gratuitous nudity. There is nudity is great, but I enjoy gratuitous nudity even more.
You know what? I do agree with you. I do why lie?
Why be subtle with it? If you're gonna whip them out, whip them out there for everybody to see.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah. There is the adult sketchbook. This is going to have all the pinups and prints and all the fun character designs and hot pinups of the babes in there. So this is definitely a good thing to get. The girls are trying to help me sell the comic here, which I appreciate. Again, that won't be censored. And then this, I might have to spin this guy off.
Yes, this is the one I love.
Yeah, this does seem to be everybody's favorite. When Comes the Tromboner? The Tromboner is the Blue Bombshell's arch enemy here. Can the Maiden of Might handle the Maestro of Music's deadly pocket rocket?
If I can get you at some point, this thing I would pay the shipping on, right? If you did a on metal print of this.
Oh right? Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a super fun idea, and everybody kind of loves this cover.
It's fantastic.
Kind of an homage to the old Marvel, Miss Marvel comics, and it was just perfect with the giant rocket just blasting her in the ass. I wanted something phallic, and this just kind of was too perfect.
I love the way he's standing on it. Everything about it is perfect.
Yep. And then that one was such a hit, I had to do another, so I wanted to have the old Marvel team-ups with Blue Bombshell and Sister Power and Sweet Christmas as they face the menace of the man called Tripod. Just an example of the high level classy humor that I've got in this comic book.
I tell you, it's something you don't get enough of.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like when you're doing a comic, you want to give the fans something that maybe they're not getting from somewhere else. There used to be comics like this. There used to be kind of like fun, jokey comics with great art and hot girls in them. There isn't so much anymore. The SJWs have kind of tried to stamp that out.
I was talking to my daughters about this today. We were talking about for some reason they decided to give Tila a double mastectomy. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I am freely admit, I like a normative human male. I do sexually fetishize women's breasts, as I think I've been pretty clear of them tonight. Right, that happens. Well, for that, there's no reason to cut off her tits because of that. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
I'm very, very, very scared of like any form of sexuality. It's really weird, but they are.
Like every lead female character has to have the body of like a middle linebacker, and then they have to have the shaved head on one side, and then the swoop haircut.
Yes, right.
Like that's
the Black Widow movie, they actually put a CGI a woman's head on a man's body.
Oh yeah.
That actually happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was.
And if you're curious to know what would happen if Peggy Carter got the super serum formula, she would become a lesbian fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was. I just don't get the mentality behind that. But yeah, it's like appease every lesbian out there, but alienate the hardcore fan base that's been buying the books. Because lesbians are going to start buying comics because they give a shit about that. So
it's all about messaging. Everything's about messaging.
Yep. No, absolutely. So lots of fun artwork in it. Again, we got the art book there. In the featured tier, again, you get everything with that. You get all 3 variant covers. You get the adult sketchbook. You get a 14-page digital backup story that's going to have even more of what you're looking for with these books. You get 2 original art sketches, 1 regular, 1 nude. So you get original art in this package. You get the trading cards, the 3 regular prints, and the 3 adult prints. And then if you go through the other tiers, it's the normal stuff. $25 level, you get the cover A, cover B. You can get them both.
Right. But if you want this, you got to be quick. This is, you've got how many hours left, does it say?
13 hours. 13 hours.
13 hours to go. 13 hours to go.
You want this book, you got to get it today.
Are you doing everything on that, Clint? Writing, drawing, coloring, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I did everything. I even lettered it, so I'm keeping my costs down. I'm not paying anybody.
I do my own lettering as well. Yeah.
I'm lucky that I can draw, so I kind of use that to my best advantage.
Yeah,
I use lettering to give my writing an extra edit. I find that lettering edit really helps.
And it's nice because I can fit. I can change the writing to fit what space I left myself in the word balloons.
Exactly,
I don't have to think about it ahead of time. So yeah, it's a big help to be able to kind of do that stuff myself. And it's kind of a different kind of mindset when you're drawing or writing. Like the lettering, it's kind of fun and making everything kind of have that feel and look that you want it, like the old school kind of comics that you grew up on. So I do enjoy that aspect of making the comics.
Well,
too.
I mean, that's really the best thing about being indie. You don't have to ask anybody's permission or anything. And I find you get better comics like that way, right? Without a committee.
When you get it just the way the creator envisioned it, you're getting kind of the best that they can give you, and it's just a lot of fun. So, yep. So super stoked, super appreciative of everybody who's backed the book and been following this campaign. This is the biggest campaign I've been on so far. Hoping to hit that 30,000 today and get everybody those lenticular cards. And it's just been a lot of fun going on everybody's show, being on your show a couple times, V. I super appreciate it. Going around, making the rounds and getting to see everybody in Comicsgate is always kind of a treat and a lot of fun to, interact with everybody in the chat. So it's been a great campaign and super stoked with how it goes. And if you haven't backed Blue Bomb Show, today's the day. Back it today. Get yourself an awesome.
It's now or never, baby. It's now or never.
Yep, and this book is coming out before the end of the year. The majority, I'd say 90% of this book is done. The main 48-page book is done. I'm adding some pinups and stuff to the art sketchbook. And then, working on the trading cards, but those don't really take long. So this isn't going to be a campaign you're going to be sitting around for a year waiting on. This is going to be a book that'll be, you could actually, if you backed all my projects, you could get 3 brand new comics from me before the end of the year, because Mandy's shipping out Pirate Queen right now. Mark's got Sea Dog and Kill Switch at the printer right now. And this is probably going to go to the printer in late October, and hopefully I'll be shipping it in November and early December. So you'll be getting these comics sooner rather than later.
It's a good year to back Clint.
Yep, absolutely.
That really should be what we say when we go in the morning.
Yep. No, it's I just want to keep the ball rolling and put out more comics. I got more books waiting in the wings still to come. So gotta get this one out so I can get on to the next one, and there's no slowing down. I love the way this is going.
I know exactly where you're at, baby. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So anyway, everybody, definitely go. Let's firstly, it's like what 150. How far away? Like 1,500 to get.
Oh yeah, like 1555,
right.
and we
hit
3 grand.
So listen, 13 hours. It's buy a few of those. The big $200 package is the way to go. Where you get everything.
Realistically, it's that, and then just the cover A are the 2 most popular rewards. So it's kind of people are either just getting the book or they're getting the main package, and depending on what you're looking for.
Just think post-apocalypse, right? Post-apocalypse. What you could trade that
all those
one
extras.
trading card for. Yeah,
absolutely.
No, I'm saying just the trading card, right? Just the trading card, especially if you get the lenticular one. You could get like a field of grain for that.
Oh yeah. It'll be better than gold in the post-apocalypse.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So this is the time. To get your physical media. So I would say before the end of the day. So okay, did we put the link in? The link is in the chat. The link is in the video.
I'll play the video. I didn't play the video yet.
Oh yeah, let's play the video.
Might as well hit that up. I made such an awesome video. Dive. Oh, of course I got it muted. Hold on.
Bombshell. Dive into adventure with the Blue Bombshell, alongside her superhero teammates, the Superiors. With her amazing super strength, she only wishes the seams on her costume were as strong, especially against enemies like Murderer's Row, as she faces off against the world's most dangerous villains. The Blue Bombshell is an all-out action and scantily clad adventure. Danger, intrigue, and a whole lot of skin. Don't miss the Blue Bombshell.
And a whole lot of skin.
A whole lot of skin. Well, listen, that was a very. I can say it's a very compelling pitch. I can't argue with you when you're right. Yeah, that's an awfully compelling pitch.
Absolutely.
Very good. Fine. Pop my camera back on. Fine. So links everywhere. Please go check it out. It's
absolutely
fine. Let me share. I have your campaign up. Share screen. Dig 2 Grays, graphic novel Indiegogo.
That is a great title.
There you go. So it really is, isn't it?
Nice art too. That's great art.
Oh man, the art on this is freaking crazy.
No, right away. It's like, damn, that looks gorgeous.
Okay, so Jim, talk us through this. Let me start scrolling into tell us what this is.
So I'm a big fan of the old 70s, 80s revenge movies.
Right.
Like Mad Max, or lesser knowns like Rolling Thunder. I know
Rolling Thunder. It's an awesome movie.
It is, isn't it? It's a great one.
Look at this artwork though. Freaking incredible.
And I just wanted to do my take on those, bring it with kind of a modern twist. Like I said, add that kind of the noir feel to it. So it's very dark. So it's complete opposite of Blue Bombshell.
Hey, there's room for everything here. That's the great thing about this, is everybody's putting out their own stuff.
Right.
That's kind of where we are with this one. Like I said, we're 2 issues in. We got a 3rd one already in the works. The story is evolving around this character Miranda. She's a soldier who returns home, kind of dealing with life back home after everything, only to right away have her family killed. And for her, it's the mystery of why. And then, of course, we have a lot going on in the background, a lot of different stories playing out that kind of all, culminate towards the end of the book. So originally this was Kickstarted, and that's kind of where my audience, is as small as they are. That's where we did it. It was funded. And then so we had people reaching out asking, for other ways to get the book. So I decided to try doing just the graphic novel. So we had a lot of different variant covers for the original Kickstarter campaign. The anime-ish one, the nude one, the variant action ones, things like that.
I don't know anything. Don't assume I know anything. Okay, I don't.
And so so we brought it here. We thought I thought I'd try to keep it simple. So we're just doing the graphic novel as opposed to the floppy on this one.
I think it's smart. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I wanted people on Kickstarter not to think that we were trying to necessarily double dip them. So we're offering something different. We cut back on the rewards on this one. One, because it's a graphic novel, and I don't want to print like 6-7 different variants for a graphic novel.
Right.
Right.
So we just kept it to one. It's a wraparound, I guess, cover from the original book. So, but yeah. So and then we did make some prints available from various artists. So I reach out to lots of different artists and pretty much just say, hey, give me your take. So that's why we get so many different types of different variant covers. The main cover on the floppy is done by Wilton Santos. He does, I think, like Star Wars right now for Marvel.
Oh wow!
Yeah, for
you got
this
some top level artists.
I lucked out. I found some people who were really great, who also maybe were right before they kind of started doing more mainstream work.
Oh,
so
nice.
I got in right before their prices became
I knew this guys were familiar. Yeah, I've seen them in the Star Wars books.
Well, so the actual artwork in the book is done by an artist named Von Randall, who's been awesome. So
it's fantastic, mate. I love it.
Yeah, he's great. So I'm still surprised I haven't had to compete, with other places trying to book him. So I'm sure I will pretty soon because he's always got some book coming out from somebody. So.
Wow. This is real high level stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. This looks as good as anything Marvel or DC are putting out.
Yeah.
I would say significantly better.
Yeah.
Listen, I would buy I'm Not Starfire as a goof to take the piss out of it. But I would read and enjoy this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a nice, beautiful.
Fine. So the poster set. How many posters how big are the posters? And talk us through them.
We're off. So those are the posters in question. We're offering 2 sets. So we're going to either do the mini prints, or you can actually do the 11x17 size ones. So in there, you got posters from the one in the middle is from an artist named Vincent Vinticola. To the right of that, the kind of the sexier pinup, that's from an artist named Nathan Surdsey, if I'm saying his last name correct. I know he does covers for DC right now. He's got a very distinct look to it. So I was happy to get that. So yeah, each print there is from a different artist. Again, I kind of just asked them for their take. And they kind of just took their style and took the characters and incorporated it into that. So that's kind of why each one is so different from each other, which I think is nice. I think it gives everybody a little bit of variety.
It's cool. It's nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. So what are the packages that you can jump in? So this is the first 2 issues, right?
Yeah. So this is the first 2 plus. We're going to try to throw in maybe a few little extra things, depending, seeing how far story 3 is along when we get it to printer. Then there's another book that's in the works right now too. Maybe throw a sampler in there. So the book, just the first 2 stories themselves, clock in at almost 90 pages. So yeah, so it's already pretty deep just for the first 2. And the pack, like I said, we kept the packages simple. So it's basically just the graphic novel. The actual copy or a PDF version. And then graphic novel with a mini poster set, graphic novel with the 11x17 poster set. And then we just did the 2, cameo or speak and roll options in the book. So like I said,
so you can just buy, so basically you get $30 for the book, $8 PDF. Mini poster set is an add-on of 15, I guess. Right?
Yeah, I believe that's how that's set up.
Right, and 30 you get 11 by 17 poster set.
Yeah.
The 250 you get a cameo in the book, and 500 you get to say. Can you choose your character? Like what can you have somebody like? Can you be a hitman or something?
So the story for the most part is fairly completed because it's only going to run 12 issues, and that's the entire story. But I can't, there are characters I left specifically that can be kind of written differently. So if somebody says I want to be a villain, or I want to be killed, or I want to be whatever, we can incorporate that character into that whoever takes that part.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Dude, this looks like it's going to be like a noir classic when it's done. It's going to be like
so.
I mean, it will be like about a 500-page work. I mean, this is a major book.
Yeah.
I can't. There really should be more eyes on this, right? I mean, like I don't know why the media, like the comics media, isn't reporting on this. This looks like something genuinely newsworthy to me.
Well, like I said, for me, this is my first Indiegogo. I've done Kickstarter in the past, and had success with that. So I'm new, trying to figure out what actually works for Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a totally different audience than Kickstarter.
Yep.
Totally different. Yep. You got to go. You got to do lots of YouTube. How do you get people on Kickstarter? Because I got to do Kickstarter on my next campaign.
For me, just advertising, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. I got enough eyes on it to.
Right, you get to pay because like this, you put no money into advertising on Indiegogo. You just you have to go on a lot of YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube's what sells Indiegogo.
I'm hoping, like, since I got a few things lined up, but yeah, with Kickstarter you can do cross promotions with the other ones that are running. That seems to help too. But yeah, with Indiegogo, I'm just kind of learning as I go with it, and obviously, I'm not yet finding the audience just yet. So we got a lot of time left.
Well, how many shows have you done so far?
For this campaign on Indiegogo, this is the first. So
well, there you go. There you go. It's FaceTime. It's get in the chat on popular. Like on Keith Van Skyver. Actually, what's his name? Who was it? Australian bloke.
Bancroft.
Yeah, Ben. So he's got this whole guide. So he basically says, start being active on a chat of like the bigger names, like a year before you want to launch a campaign. And he's so right. He really is, because do that, and then you'll campaign, and then you get to be known, you get to be a face, you get to be around, and then people like you. People buy books because people buy books mainly because they like you, right? This looks like a freaking awesome book. I think makes it a slam dunk. I mean, this is really. I mean, I'm excited by this book. I really haven't been excited by books for a long time. I tell you, if you did this as a Substack, I will probably buy it.
Now, see, I remember you guys talking about that. I have never heard of Substack, so I'm not familiar with
it. I think it's relatively new.
It's turning into the escape raft that the mainstream audience, mainstream industry is using. Because they can't make money at DC or Marvel, apparently. So it's basically this blogging thing, and you can pay to be on somebody's blog list. And I think they're just going to publish comics right onto it. Huh. Like if you did this, I would buy it. I would totally buy it. It looks fan-freaking-tastic. That's why. Weirdly enough, I'd be more interested in buying it as a Substack than I would over a PDF, and I don't know why. I'm just telling you my emotional, reaction. I don't know why that is yet, but it's more appealing, I think. I guess because if you serialize it, I don't know. Like if you broke it into weekly installments, but I grew up with 2000 AD, which is all weekly installments.
Oh yeah, so that's more familiar to you when you grew up on that kind of stuff. You look for similar stuff,
right. But I would buy this, and like let's say you did start. I'm spitballing, right? Let's say you started a Substack account and you put the first thing up for free, first like 10 pages for free or whatever, and then you charge like $4 a month, and you serialize it. You're able to break it into weekly, shots. Then I would say I'd do a thing where anybody who has the digital thing can then buy the print version with a discount, for example. Okay, that sort of thing. But like, yeah, look, this this really, I mean, it's my type of book. I have to tell you, this is the type of book I like to read. I'm not like a huge superhero genre guy, but like, this looks fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, I love superhero books too, and I've written some, but what I write is outside of the superhero realm. I think I told you my last time I spent, I don't know, months writing the first 6 issues of a book. I got really excited about superheroes, and then I read The Boys. I'm like, oh, I just wrote The Boys. Like, well,
there's this theory which I think is real, which is there was this group of islands somewhere. Is that somewhere hot? Jamaican or wherever, and there was these monkeys that lived on this island, and then one of them worked out they take a banana and they wash it in the water in the stream. It tastes better, right? So then a few monkeys started copying them, and like it went from like a couple of hundred monkeys were like copying it to suddenly every monkey on the island did it. It became like a group consciousness. Right. And I really believe when somebody has an idea, when somebody has an original idea, they bring that idea into reality and people do pick it up. Right. It's like because it wasn't around before. So that's why I think that's honestly why I think people have multiple ideas. So look, similar ideas at the same time. So how did you get into comics, and what other books have you done?
For me, so I mean, I've been collecting and reading comics since I was, I think, 6 or 7 when I got my first one. And then
so what type of comics did you like reading as a kid?
So my first comic was a Spider-Man issue that we got off the rack at like Kmart or something like that, and then I just got into X-Men, the Chris Claremont run, especially in the 80s and early 90s.
So that'd be like Days of Future Past, right around there.
Yeah, and then when Jim Lee came out, that's when I went like all in as a kid. So I got my first box at my comic shop, and then started picking them up. And then I was into comics till about, I'd say 11th grade, 12th grade. And then I realized at that point in time, if you liked comics, no girl was going to talk to you.
That's about where it hits all.
Yeah. And then at that point, you had to decide the comic books are trying to get a girl. So I stopped reading comics for a few years. And then got back into it in my early 20s. And I'd always been I'd always enjoyed writing. I actually wrote comics as a kid. I mean, for what they were worth. I wrote an X-Men comic that was like 4 pages long. That kills off.
You should put that in as an extra in one of your books.
I think I have 1 page of it left. Like I said, it's 4 pages or so long. I drew it because I thought I was going to be an artist too. And like I said, I killed off Wolverine and brought him back in that same short little issue. So I thought that was pretty crazy.
Pretty impressive. You're perfect to work at Marvel.
I know, right? I'll do that 6 more times and launch 17 number 1s in that time frame.
Exactly.
But so yeah, I mean, I and then I transitioned. I started writing screenplays, and got into that. And then when I got into my 20s, I realized, I'd like this. I got back into comics again. I started reading them, and I realized, this is a good way to tell a story. And as somebody who likes to write, screenplays, most times it's going to sit there, never, nothing's ever going to happen with it. With the comic, I can actually make that story come to life, whether I draw it myself or I find somebody. And then I just went out and started finding artists because I like my art, but it's not anywhere, good enough to put in print for anybody to pay for. So,
listen, you got great artists. These books look beautiful.
I lucked out. Like I said, I found Vaughn online.
I was going to say, how did you go about tracking your artists down? Just finding them all online from different websites, or
literally, I just Facebook groups. If I find somebody's art I like, I'm like, hey, I really like your art. You taking work. What are your rates? With Vaughn, it just happened. So originally, Dig Two Graves, the original book.
Page. I freaking love that page.
Yeah. So the original book actually came out years ago, very first volume 1. With a different artist, and he was a good artist. He was a nice guy, but he'd disappear for huge chunks of time, and then just like show up with like 2 pages. So that very first Kickstarter I did, it was completed, and then everybody's like, "Where's the book?" And I'm like, and I was waiting for him to finish. He had, he was paid and everything. All I needed was him to give it to me. It took like a year after he'd already had a year to work on it. So I was like, I can't obviously keep working.
Well,
with him.
my second campaign, I think it was, I don't know, did one campaign on Kickstarter, one campaign on Indiegogo, but I was working with one artist. We worked for a long time, lots before, and eventually we got like 5 pages in, and he wasn't producing the work, and the work he was producing wasn't his best. So I had to advertise it for another artist. My new artist was freaking incredible. I mean, I love the original artist. He was fantastic. For this book, this new artist was incredible.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. The original artist was great, but yeah, if they're inconsistent, they can't produce pages.
Yeah. So is he doing the colors as well on this?
No. So he actually has a guy that he had worked with who did covers named Kevin DeCastro, and then because I had one artist who I had to replace, which meant I had to redo the entire first book for it to match. And then I had another colorist who started the first half of the book, and it looked okay, but I could tell it didn't look great. And then the artist Vaughn was like, "Nah, this isn't looking right." And so he recommended a guy he had worked with, and I thought the colors, you could tell the difference right away from.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, these colors are fantastic.
Yeah, these pages, there's a nice mood to everything. And look,
right. I mean,
these guys definitely know what they're doing.
So yeah, they work great in a tandem. So I was like, well, I'm just going to keep this team together. So so we did the second book, and Vaughn went back. I had him redo the first book, and Kevin's actually finishing up the last bit of color on the first book now. The second book's done with the exception of like 4 pages worth of lettering I need to redo.
I like that this feels like it's designed to be told as a comic. So many times you get comics today that are very clearly Netflix pitches. Yeah. Like the entire Scott Snyder comics on it. It's like his agent sitting down, we need this and we need this. It was like there a bunch of Netflix picks. This feels like something that's using the medium.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you're saying, there's 2 types of people who just, want to use comics as a means to, push a career, and people who just want to create comics because they enjoy creating comics. So, is this
the first book you produced, or have you done books beforehand?
Oh, sorry, I started rambling. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've done a few books beforehand. So the same artist who did the first book actually did a few books of a different series. At the time, it's called Rebel Yell. It was kind of like a not Scooby-Doo-ish, but like Monster of the Week kind of campy horror comedy. And it was funny and it was fun. We did a few issues of that, but it it was kind of very small, if that makes sense. Like it was very just a one and done story here and there, and it didn't have anywhere to go. So actually, I got with a different team. I got with some writers, and we actually fleshed out the story and we redid it. And that's actually the next book we're working on. It's been renamed. It's called the Hell Rider. So it's kind of taking that. If you like Evil Dead, that kind of dark horror comedy, it takes that and puts it in a world with just monsters and demons and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
All right, great. Well, I hope when you launch, you'll come back, or just come back to tell us how things are going. Oh, love the colors of these. Oh man, the colors.
Yeah, I figured worst case, if nobody likes my writing, at least the art will look great.
Well, listen, but as I said, listen, I don't. It's just I have a good feeling about that the writing's good. It feels like it's a genuine work. Like it feels like it's like, again, I think this is going to be like a noir classic. And I love that it's 12 issues. 12 issues is like gives you real meat with it. Yeah. I really like it. I really like it. Are you well known on? Are you doing okay on Kickstarter? How big's your audience?
We did. I use we in the term of like my art team, but I mean it's just me. But I mean it did well. It did well enough to get funded. We came in a little over 5,000, which for me is I consider a good run. I mean I'm not going to do Brian Padillo type numbers anytime soon, but I
don't see why you shouldn't be getting double that. I think you should be. I think this book should be minimally in the 12 grand range. Right, it's real quality.
I think it's just me. I'm not good on the social media side of it all.
Figuring out how to advertise yourself on social media is half the battle. It's like it's a learning experience as you go. Like each time you'll pick up new stuff that works and what doesn't work. And I would say Twitter, like building a Twitter audience is, to me, Twitter's worked a lot better than Facebook has. I spent a lot of time and years in Facebook, and I've gotten much better results on Twitter than I have on Facebook. And then YouTube shows like this are huge. Like I would get on as many of these and kind of learn that
start a channel. I'm telling you, mate, start a channel.
Yeah, your own channel is key too.
Just putting out update content.
Yeah, like
just talking comics, just
whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. Like a lot of times these shows we'll talk about the book for 5 minutes, but then the rest of the time is like how gay is Robin, or
One second, look, I'll pull up my channel. I'll give myself a shameless plug.
Not you.
Me, look at that. Oh, I'll tell you, my subs are doing well ever since Jodie Whittaker's quit as Doctor Who. So I basically take the piss out of things. That's what I do. I love this. By the way, this is something I'm so proud of. The title of the video. It's about the trans person who was upset with the guy who owned the Star Wars.
Oh yes, store. I saw that.
so the title of this video is "Revenge of the Cis."
Don't mess with that ornery old bastard.
Yeah, so listen, I mean, I talk about Doctor Who because that obsesses me. I review stuff all the time. I'm definitely starting a TikTok, and I guess I'll do the 1 minute videos on TikTok and on what's it called again? What's it called? Bloody again? Instagram. God, I'm so old. but just like a quick minute review of things. It basically is just you got to get over the wanting to be detached from the audience. You got to attach to the, and I know you don't want to, but like that's the job. Making the comics is the easy bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interaction with the fans and building that fan following of not just your projects, but like you as a creator, talking about there's a ton of people in the chat that want to make their own comics, like talking about how you got started, like what you did,
right?
How you found artists, your writing process. Like people are interested in that stuff and want to know more. Like everybody here is into comics or into sci-fi. Like that's why they're showing up. That's what they want to talk about. That's what they want to hear about. So, and I mean, most of us are talking about that stuff anyway. So you might as well talk about it online to other people.
Right. Like I'm sure you saw Suicide Squad, for example, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think of it?
The newest one, I liked it. I thought it was good.
It was.
I don't understand why people hate the first one. Like the whole trashing of the first one,
the first half an hour is awesome. That first half hour is perhaps the best superheroes I've ever seen. You got Batman being Batman, you got Joker. I love that first half hour.
And it wasn't the greatest movie, but action wise, I would say they play these things all the time on the weekends on cable channel, so you can flip on and watch Civil War or one of the latest Thor movies or Iron Man. I would say Suicide Squad of all the DC stuff is probably the most brain candy rewatchable of all the DC movies.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of action, you're not getting caught up. You can just sit there and flip through channels and Suicide Squad. I'll watch Harley Quinn for a little bit, in a wet bikini.
It was Zack Snyder Justice League, right? Yeah. It's you're not going to dip your toes into a 4-hour epic.
No, you're not flipping through I'll just finish off the last 2.5 hours of that.
Right, yeah. Although I tell you, for me, it zipped through. I was very, very impressed with it. But yeah, I know. If it's easy for you, I don't know. Again, I think Substack's going to be a big deal. So I'm really starting out. I mean, if you can blog, I think that might help. I don't know. You got to find whatever way you can of interacting with it. And then listen, here is a great technique, right? And it works basically 100% of the time. And you can't. And the trick is don't think when you do it. You say, I want the part of myself that doesn't want to put myself forward to explain why, right? And what it is, you come up with the answer instantly because you I don't know why your brain is just tricked into it, and then you talk yourself through it, and you realize at one point in your thinking there's a corrupted thought, right? And once you reveal it, it's great. I've done this a bunch of times. It dissolves blocks. Like I used to hate asking. I used to be really bad at asking clients when I do straight work like video editing, graphic design, web design, for money. Like I used to be really bad at it, right? And asking people for leads for jobs. And I talked myself through it. And I was like, and I just realized I was being ridiculous in one like time. But that's what happens. You have corrupted thoughts and you don't see them. And the more you talk it out, I mean, I'm not going to get into it. I said you can do it privately, mate. That's what I'm saying. But it will really help because there should be more eyes on this. I mean, there should be minimally a 12 grand campaign.
I mean, I agree with you. But, I mean, it's a learning process for me because, like I said, especially with Kickstarter, I focused a lot on Instagram, which seems to be really good for Kickstarter. And then I talked to some people like, no, for this Indiegogo, you want Twitter. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't focus on Twitter. Yeah. So now I'm trying to get a Twitter audience going with that. I kind of let it go. I mostly avoided Twitter because it was just mostly, awful people.
Twitter is awful people, but you have to wait until
yeah. That's what I'm finding out.
If you don't want to hate humanity, Twitter might not be for you.
So, I mean, at this point, it's awful everywhere. But yeah, you got to wade through the awful to get to the people who
build up that thick skin, and you just wade through that.
So, Jim, what type of things are you into? What type of fandom are you into?
Oh, I'm all kinds of pop culture. I love movies, and pretty much all genres of movies. So,
what are you passionate about? What gets you worked up?
I mean, I love writing my comics. I know that's like cheesy answer, especially with what we're doing, but I enjoy that the most. The writing aspect of it, creating, and because I mean, just hobby stuff wise, or just for fun. I enjoy movies. I watch lots of movies.
Okay, so wait, Jim, let me ask you.
Yeah.
What's one of your top 10 best comics ever written, ever created in your head? Not by you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick just the ones that had somewhat of an impact, I don't know if it's because it's the written, but
no. The comics that you think are the greatest comics ever made, not the ones that have a personal impact. The ones you think are the highest form of the art.
I mean, that'd be pretty much anything by Neil Gaiman. I'm a big fan of his. Pretty much anything. I mean, the Watchmen still, and I mean, I know those are like the go-to.
Okay, so dude, take one of these books, right, and give your commentary on it. Go through it.
Yeah. Because
you're an intelligent guy, and if you're passionate about it and you thought it through, that's great content. Like your director's commentary on Watchmen is interesting, right? And it isn't because it's like you know and you care about, and I think you'll be good at it.
Yeah, I like the idea. So I mean, I had actually started working on stuff for a YouTube channel, and we had a podcast going with a local art group. Unfortunately, kind of COVID killed most of that for them.
Where are you? Whereabouts are you based?
United States, Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah. So.
Hey, listen, home of legal weed can't be that bad.
Well, right now it's incredibly hot, but aside from that, yeah, you got the beautiful Rocky Mountains right there. So, yeah, and if you like weed, you could go to every other corner's got a weed store. So
it's basically, it's crazy.
And we got like 3 military bases, so we got about 3 weed stores
like
every
weed,
corner.
That's like saying if you like a blowjob, really?
Well, I was going to say,
not for me. Oh, that's
we got 3 military bases in this town, so it's all weed and massage parlors. Every other
Wow, that sounds like a hell of a town.
It's got its charm. So
okay, Jim, you can't relax there. You can't relax anywhere.
I guess not. That's true. Jim, what's one of your top 10 greatest movies ever made?
Oh, I mean, I would hate to say like Kill Bill because that's kind of I use that as an example in this book, if compared for people. But I mean, I have so many movies I love. I just watched the Lord of the Rings series again for like I don't know the umpteenth time.
There's another one where you're just flipping through channels and like, oh, looks like I'm gonna watch Lord of the Rings for the rest of this afternoon.
Yeah, you'll watch it, then it'll be like, you know what? I should have watched the extended version. Well, I guess I better fire those up then and just watch now the 6-hour version of each one. So, but yeah,
Keely Chow makes I think a point that it's hard to disagree with. I have nothing against the Dark Knight trilogy, but I always choose to watch Batman and Batman Returns over Dark Knight. I do hear that. I do. Yeah, sometimes I like watching the Joel Schumacher ones as well. Just if I'm in a funny mood, right? That's.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they like to watch the Joel Schumacher ones on purpose.
You gotta be in the right mood for it. But yeah, you got. I know. I find if you go at things and try and remove your preconceptions, like I'm rewatching this You know what Doctor Who is?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So I'm watching the season 24, which was from 1987. It just came out on Blu-ray, right? And I hated it at the time. So I've had a very negative attitude towards it because I was like a 16-year-old kid when it came out, and it was very silly. And it like missed it. Look, a lot of it was shit. Okay, quite frankly, a lot of it was awful. But now going back, looking at it without my preconceptions, right? And the way I got rid of that is they have this extra on it where you have a bunch of different people, like people who are in it and other people in Doctor Who watching it, and you get their reaction as they watch it, and they all quite liked it, right? So it made it easier for me to go in with it with a favorable view. But if you go and say like, remove your and just accept it for what it is, a lot of the time things are more enjoyable, right? Just a lot of the times. But yeah. So that's how you got to be in the right mood for the Joel Schumacher Batman.
I mean, that's what I like. One thing about getting older is a lot of stuff I didn't appreciate as my youth. I can go back now and watch it or listen to it. I'm like, you know what, that's actually pretty good because I can actually see what they're trying to say or trying to do.
It's weird how your tastes can change as time goes on, and it's like something that you like really didn't get younger when you were younger is like, God, why did I skip over this? This was awesome. Oh man,
so this is we got to get more people buying it. Man, you got to get funded. So $30 for the print, and you estimated shipping in November, right?
Yeah, like I said, for the most part, everything's done. The second volume 2 from the Kickstarter is done, with the exception of I'm having my letterer go back and edit a couple pages at the end. I think I posted about it the other day. You could read your script 1,000 times, but then you read it 1,001 times, and you're like, oh wait, and then you finally see something you wanted to update. So it's kind of one of those cases.
How much would your artist choose? Well, okay, don't answer that question. Find out how much your artist would choose to do a sketch, right? Because I think a sketch cover would do you well on this.
Yeah, we had that on the Kickstarter, that option anyway.
Was it popular?
So for that one, I put it in a high-end tier, and that, I mean, I know you guys are talking about doing Kickstarter. I did that one, the high-end tiers, and the downside is people will back them and then drop them later, and then all of a sudden you see your total just drop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, right before the end of your campaign, somebody will have backed it for like $400 or $500, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then like you get towards the end, and like somebody drops out like a $400 or $500 bid on it, and it's like it totally takes your legs out from underneath you.
Yeah, that campaign, I think we were a little over 3,500 and drops at one point. So it's disheartening to say the least. But
that happens a lot on Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's kind of why I also wanted to look at Indiegogo, because
I've never heard of that happening. I mean, I'm sure it happens. I just know I don't remember anybody speaking about that.
Well, I mean, I don't want to obviously speak about it too much because I don't want people to think that I'm complaining about. People obviously have stuff going on, so and I got stuff going on, so I feel for them if things happen. So,
but I think there is an element on Kickstarter where there's people that just like to be part of the campaign and get the updates, and they like get excited, and then they drop out. There's a few floating around there over on Kickstarter that do that.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. So, link is in the in the chat. It's also in the show notes. Go check it out. Here, I want to show you guys a couple of things before I wrap up. So here, I keep talking about Substack. I want to show like how much free comics I have just like hanging around. biblicalcomics.com. I think that's my website.
So
That's how long since it's been there.
So it's basically like your own webpage, and you can just like post your own books on there, like weekly or something.
Yeah. Right. So here, free comics. Like for example, what was that thing? The thing free web Red Ghost, for example. Yeah, this would be perfect, man. This is like this is like a 70, 80 page graphic novel. I can never print it because I only have low res. Right, this is only like this you can only read it online.
No, it works online though.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. You can do
weekly
installments
really
of this.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can do weekly installments of this. This would be awesome online.
Right. Well, this is end of part 1. So I already have it, broken up, got the logo and everything. But I got tons of books like this. What else? Yeah, was it? This is the first one. First time I did try to do something in color. Stoner. So when you have the world of weed and world of superheroes coming together. So every episode starts with, "Dude, this is freaking me out." This is a fun little story. But yeah, so this guy finds out when he finds out he's got a superpower that he can pee fire. You get 3 options, right? You can either do option 1, service. They ship you off to Kabul or somewhere. Option 2, incarceration, or option 3, suppression. Buy lots and lots of weed. This is broken into installment. I did a bunch of these. What else I got?
Yeah, this would be great online. Have you gotten signed up for a Substack page yet, or are you still thinking about it?
No, this is just something I was thinking about. Over Sabbath. So
I know a bunch of people have already signed up on it and are kind of trying to figure out how it all works. So
yeah, I mean, it's for me. I'm kind of excited by it. I got this thing called the Ice Warriors, which was based on a Doctor Who monster, but they also have this tradition of having 1-page strips, and like they had the Dalek strip and Cybermen, and the Daleks in the 60s and Cybermen in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, writing a 1-page strip is not easy, but like if you pull it off, it's awesome. And again, Stefano did the artwork on these ones. And then a little bit later, it went into color, right? And then yeah. So fine. So that's what I'm thinking of doing.
You should.
Right. It seems like something that's exciting. Something else exciting. Let me give myself another blatant plug because I'm about to go. Where am I? Doink this up. This is a poster that you get with if you buy both my books and my campaign. Noble Savages, of course, is the lovely Leela from Doctor Who and Raquel Welch from The Land That Time Forgot. Not there, from 1 million years BC. I do forget. In the background is H.G. Wells' Time Machine. In the foreground, we have K9. Why are they together? Who cares, baby? Who cares? Just be grateful. Just be grateful that I gave you it. This is a A2 poster, which is like, what was it? 11 by it's big. It's like 14 by 22 or something. It's 18 by 20. It's like a fair size poster. Fine, but how do you get this? You by backing this campaign. Rabbi from Another Planet, Comic Book Bonanza, 2 incredible comic books. We got Biblical, Bible Stories, Aces, Traces, Restless Rogues. I wrote and drew this puppy, 220 pages. Listen, it has been said that when somebody purchases this, they are imbued with an incredible amount of how can I say this? Sexual vitality, right? You become irresistible to whoever you would not want to resist you. It has been said. Look. Experiences may differ, right? All I can say, but you know what? I will give it 220 pages, very, very biblically accurate, but not preachy at all. I don't really care if you believe the same thing as me or not. This is just a very, very good story. Also a very good story. I wrote this one. This is called The Imperium, a love letter to telefancy of the 1960s. Imagine Doctor Who, James Bond, Emma Pill, the Black Slab from 2001, and a monkey in a spacesuit in one wonderful super group together. 105 pages long. It's got a bit of Prisoner thrown in, bit of Thunderbirds. It's got those Ice Warrior scripts in as well. It's what else you got? You get the full commentary, you get all the artist sketches, and you get an extra 5 pages in this now. Again, that's where you get the Thunderbirds cameo. But wait, there's more. So first, of course, you get the Noble Savages poster, but you also get the For the Male Gaze cards, a series of postcards based on my masturbatory fantasies when I was a 12-year-old. And let me tell you, I knew what I was doing then. I know what I'm doing now. You can mail these in postcards. I said you can mail them to your vicar. You can mail them to your dowager aunt. It doesn't matter. We have Keeping the British End Up, every James Bondy one. That's last time in the best James Bond movie, as proven by science, The Spy Who Loved Me. We have Party Like It's 1999. Did you like a bit of Space 1999? Who cares? Just take this card and enjoy it. We have Don't Even Think It, Citizen. You know, Judge Anderson, we're all thinking it. I know, I like you thinking it. Shh, don't say that, Judge Anderson. No, I want to confess. No, keep it quiet, Judge Anderson. Please. Some decorum, you're a judge. You're right, Tzvi. That's right. We got No Hanky Panky in the TARDIS. This, of course, is the lovely Perry from Doctor who wearing a screen accurate costume. And she's been trapped forever in my spank bank since she first appeared on screen in tight spandex for no apparent reason as the Doctor's companion. God bless her, and all who sail within her. We have Oh My, it's Councillor Troy. I'm sensing strong emotions, Captain. Well, you should do. There are quite a few emanating from me. I don't know why she's taking her clothes off, but you know what? I know she's a professional, and I know she has a good reason, whatever that may be. We also have this was a bonus one I threw in because I just love my backers. The Force is female. The Force is so incredibly female. Princess Leia looks relaxed, looks calm, not having to worry about TIE fighter allocations or rations for the Rogue Squadron. Just relaxes and enjoys her life as Jabba the Hutt's sex toy. And she seems quite happy about it. Bib Fortuna not interested. No, he's not having to trouble with that. But sorry, see Crum. Things are going to get crazy, baby. Crazy. I think I'm going to throw in another poster as well. We're going to have this Doctor Who poster, Bohemian in Time and Space. Because I didn't think I'd break $8,000, and now I broke $8,000. I'm like, I should give you guys. But if we break $9,000, tell you what, we break $10,000. Everybody gets everything, right? I'll give everyone. So all these posters, we got the Bohemian in Time and Space. We have The Eyes Have It. We have Great Balls of Fire, and we have Forever Young, as if the Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane grew old together in the TARDIS, as they really should have done. So fine, if I hit $10,000, everybody gets everything. But I think I'm going to give you an extra poster. There you go.
No new female Doctor Who posters.
No. Good God, no. She is like anti-Viagra. You can always tell when my erection wanes. It's because she's on TV. It's just the way it is, baby. It's just the way it is. What can I tell you? Fine. So let's have a quick look at everyone's campaign again. Before we wrap up, we have. We'll go over to stop screen. Share screen and Dig Two Graves. A freaking awesome title, awesome book. This is you want to get in on this early, right? You really want to get in on this so you can be like, I was one of the first, because this book looks freaking incredible. I recommend this highly. And we got Clint's book. This is so much fun, right? Clint's book's gonna be freaking awesome. Available from a limited time. Time is ticking, right?
Back in today, I think we picked up 2 backers during the show. So awesome. Thank you, Chad.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for having us.
Very good. Fine. Is there anything any of you gentlemen would like to impart before we finish tonight?
Today's the last day for Blue Bombshell. If you want the book, a lot of fun, a lot of boobs, a lot of hot superhero action. Back it today. It's going to be ending, I think, 2 a.m. Central Time. So this is it, folks. Back it and get a comic and don't have a lifetime of regret that you missed out.
Exactly. Sensible advice for a crazy age. I'm hitting the end broadcast button. I'm hitting it again.